Hello everyone, and welcome to the Calling of All. My name is Zion, and I would like to kind of go over some big and deep concepts with you, give you kind of an introductory facet of the deep ideas and the topics and discussions that I would like to cover on this channel. Now, obviously, just to delve right into it, there's a you, there's a me, there's him and her and the dog up the street, and there's everyone around you, and we kind of have this divide between us, this idea that we are individual, and this divide is kind of a construct through the propagation of desires and egos. However, a lot of these desires are really a delusion. They're a desperate attempt to cling to the concept of the self as a way to prove to ourselves that, this existence that we live in and this experience that we're having is a real experience and is important to us, important to our lives. And often we try really hard to make things work, and then we wonder why they don't work. And the problem is not really in the work itself, or even really the attitude taken towards the work, I believe, but instead the fact that our focus is delusioned. Our focus is elsewhere. It's causing us to find importance and meaning and meaningful things in areas of our life that we normally wouldn't spend time on, that we normally wouldn't really care about. Now, the thing is obviously society keeps us extremely distracted from what we truly desire, from what we truly want in life. And things such as TV and entertainment and news and video games, drugs, alcohol, and even the food and drinks, food that you're eating and the drinks that you're drinking, everything. It's all put here for a reason, and it's to keep you comfortable and complacent. And from early on in life, we're taught that our lives are to be maintained kind of like a certain way. And we learn that life is about achieving and striving as to disseminate further this comfort and this security through the adherence of wealth and prosperity, right, to bring you up. We learn that what's important in the world is what's right in front of us, right here in plain sight. But I would like to instigate an entirely different truth for you today. Now, if all of a sudden the dollar collapsed and society kind of failed, and you lost your electricity and your utilities and all the stores and the simple luxuries and such, if they were all gone and they were taken away, how do you think you would fare in this life? And considering that pretty much every waking second of our lives is spent worrying about finances or about social situations or even entertaining ourselves, probably wouldn't fare that well. I don't think things would go that great. Now, I would like to communicate the idea that none of us are living to our true and full potential, and that none of us are living life as fully or as true as we could really be. Now, this is in part due to the systems and understanding set in place by the powers that be. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't believe that there's some omnipotent being that's running around and controlling and manipulating us, per se. Instead, I believe it's a mixture of carefully organized egocentric systems that are designed to drain from others as a way to fatten the few. And I believe a lot of it has to do with an abundance of mass ignorance. Now, notice how difficult it is to clear your mind of the constant bombardment of stimuli that's brought upon by advertisements and entertainment and social situations and everything else that's playing a tug-of-war on your thoughts, and this constant stream of mental drain. Realize that your existence here in this realm is one of the most impossibly rare events to have ever taken place in the entire universe, if you believe science, of course. The fact that this planet is even here, just the way it is basically a near impossibility on its own. Let alone to have the ability to harbor life, and for that life to flourish over millions of years and evolve into these forms that we call human. And of course for this race, this human race, to have survived through it all, and finally after thousands of generations, lead to your ancestors. I mean, this is a wonder that this is even possible. I mean, moreover, it's in its own a near impossibility that you were the one out of the millions of sperm in one load that actually made it, and that you survived the 9-month gestation process and were finally born into this magnificent and majestic realm. The odds are they're astronomical. And so much went into your being, and yet it's kind of taken for granted every waking moment of your life. And we long for so much more, and we fail to understand that this is the more. This here. This is the everything. We're able to live life about 100 years, at the very best, in our current evolutionary state, of course. But we are connected to life through an eternal source, a constant stream. This source is known to many as the void, or even nothingness. You experience this before your life and after your life when you're dead. And it's possible to experience this right here, right now as well. Within this state is eternal and altruistic peace. However, we kind of cower to the notion of losing this experience that we're in. And this fear of the nothing really fuels our desires and our concept of self. And in turn, it drives the population to seek comfort and complacency. And hence, we practically beg, to be controlled and manipulated like sheep, so that we can live comfortably and distract ourselves from the fear of not knowing how to truly control ourselves, the fear of a meaningless existence. These distractions, they become addictions, and these addictions become our demise. Fortunately, it's entirely possible to break free of this trap, so to speak. And that's through the determined aspirations of achieving true enlightenment, true and real enlightenment. This, however, is only obtained through deep, deep introspective meditation. And we spend so much time in the minutiae of distractions that we often lose sight of our true existential desires. Love and connection and growth and expansion and true, real things. Additionally, we're such enemies with ourselves. And this sense of being an enemy with oneself is built up through these distractions and this lack of actual truth. That we apply ridiculous amounts of energy peering outward, peering at the things that are around us, the external stimuli. And very, very little is spent on true introspection. To look inward is to find truth and absolution. The problem is that it's painful and it's scary, the truth, of course. However, the truth isn't really as it seems. In this current state of delusional being, the truth is scary. But only because we are so attached to the comforts and securities that we think cushion our lives. Really, the truth is simply a state of oneness. It's the real truth is a state of oneness. not to be feared through disillusionment, but to be amplified to a golden throne within your mind, to truly... The truth is beautiful. And when and only when this is done, the enlightenment, seeking this real truth, will actual peace flood through your being, erasing the need for the insignificant material possessions and the nonsensical stigmatisms and judgments and self-criticisms and irrational thoughts that flood your being every waking moment. Now, not to say that these things will no longer be in your life, but they will no longer be at the forefront of what is important for you. I believe this is extremely important, to remove the things that you believe are true, which basically belief systems. I think you've heard this probably before, but belief systems, BS, right? It's all BS. When you drop those belief systems and you look internally and you find yourself, you seek the truth, it's amazing what you find. What you find you really want. And what you find you really don't want. This is hard to do. Very hard to do. That's why I spoke of meditation. True meditation. And in future episodes I really want to go over some techniques that I use that have helped me with meditation, that have helped me with finding this inner peace and this thing that we're all kind of experiencing, this experience here. Kind of going over that. I'd really like to go over that and get to know it a little bit better. And I'd like to do it with you. So please stay tuned, subscribe, leave a like or something. Leave a dislike. Either way, it doesn't matter. But have a great day. Peace.